Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Sure is. And as usual, much to discuss. Yeah, what? It's been quite a week, hasn't it?
It's been a crazy week. Is Title 42 over now? I mean, I thought it was supposed to be a couple days ago, and then it was supposed to be yesterday, and now it's today. When is it going to be over?
No, they said today.
Okay.
No.
Last night.
No, last night. It ended
so
on
it's
May
finally
11th.
over.
It's over.
It's over.
Okay.
Yes,
Jeez.
it's gone.
Let's end this thing.
It's done with. The only thing that remains now is the invasion. It's the only thing that we have to look forward to on the border. And yes, we've seen estimates up to 600,000, 750,000. I heard one guy say it's probably more like 1 million. I mean, in a very short time,
it's
approaching and crossing the border.
Yeah.
Crazy. Will we see those kinds of numbers? I don't know. I don't know. We already, Ted Cruz was speaking out at the border. The border. I can't unhear it.
I
now.
cannot. All day yesterday, all I hear is someone saying the border, and you have to finish it.
You do. With another border.
Is secure.
And secure, yes. But listen to Ted. He's angry here. And so are we. And it's nice to see him expressing how most of us feel here in a border state.
Witnessing an absolute travesty unfolding on our southern border. On Monday, we apprehended over 10,000 people on the border, the highest level in history. On Tuesday, we apprehended over 10,000 people on the border, again, the highest level in history. There are right now, where we're standing, more than 22,000 people camped just south of the border, getting ready to come across. Just in this location, in less than a month, we've had over 35,000 Venezuelans cross illegally just right here, not counting the whole rest of the border. Every day, just right here, they're encountering 90 to 100 Chinese nationals.
Oh.
Now, for anyone that doesn't have their globe nearby,
I don't. So where
China
is
is not immediately to the south of the United States.
Oh,
but it is right there.
I didn't know that.
90 to 100 a day are crossing illegally on this border, being smuggled in by Mexican drug cartels. And I have to say, I am angry. Because this is deliberate.
Right.
This is a decision that was made by President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and congressional Democrats to open up the border to what is nothing less than an invasion.
There you go. That
Yep.
sums it up pretty well. And he's talking about that one sector. Imagine what the numbers are border wide. And imagine the crossings that we don't have any idea about. In places where there's no, motion sensors, where there's not a lot of border agents or any border agents necessarily, where people cross in an area that's owned privately. I mean, we don't know how many of those. Literally tens or hundreds of thousands. And they don't care.
No, they do not.
They
do not.
Couldn't care less. In fact, they like it. They like it. When it's so bad that Biden will say, there's going to be chaos for a while. When it's that bad, you can multiply the effect by about a factor of 1 million because...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Yesterday, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Republicans are just imagining
a border crisis?
Yeah. That was a cute little comment that he had. You got to see this.
All right.
Watch this. Clip 2.
As is often the case with my extreme MAGA Republican colleagues, they create a fictional argument.
Fictional. There it is. Fictional.
Around what's happening at the border.
Oh, my gosh.
And then actually do nothing to solve the real problem.
They passed a border security bill
yesterday. And that is exactly what the Child Deportation Act is all about.
Okay, so there you go. Fictional. It's fictional. Everything that you're seeing, the images on your screen, even on CNN and MSNBC.
How do you have the giblets to make that claim when everybody sees it, knows it, hears about it every day? How? Wow. That's that lie they're so good at.
Yeah,
just staring you in the face.
Right. I mean, that's Mayorkas saying that, there's, the border is secure. And he's just telling people how to come across the border, pretty much. I mean, he was giving them directions, right? I mean, that's what he's telling them to do.
Yep. And
oh, look at that. Beautiful scenes.
There's some people coming up the riverbank.
Isn't that fun?
In the Great Rio Grande. And a whole buttload of people that are already across.
And then, yesterday we had...
look at this.
The poor Texas National Guard doing the best they could. This was 2 days ago.
Huh.
Yeah,
all right.
Here we are.
There it is. Yeah, that razor wire is tough to cross. That's what we need everywhere.
And it works because they turned back.
Yes, it does. Yeah, you're not getting over the razor wire. That's going to hurt. That'll leave a mark.
It will.
A few of them, probably. I don't know. Do we do a razor wire fence all the way across the border?
And we're the environmentalists, they didn't stand up to the masks being dumped in our oceans. And now, of course, they don't say anything when the border... Can you play the, look at this. Just miles and miles and miles of discarded clothing, trash, paperwork, just everywhere. But whatever. Nah, we're cool. If we can't get you on board with humanitarian crisis, can we get you on board with environmental disaster?
Yeah. You should be able to, but no. Like the toxic spill in Ohio.
Never happened, apparently.
Nope. Can't get you on board with that. Look at just the mess left behind. And that's okay. Don't worry about it.
No, we heard that they send in, what are they called? NGOs?
Non-governmental organizations.
Yeah, the NGOs come and clean it all up.
Do they?
Well, yeah.
Look at how hard at work they are right now.
Right. Well, that's because the senators weren't showing up there for a photo op. Jeffy and I, on overtime a couple days ago, we had a sheriff going through. Yeah, and... The NGOs come down ahead of the senator's visit and they say, it's not that bad. Look, it looks fine. Everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And by the way, it's very nice of them. They were giving out court dates yesterday. Guess when they're due back in?
Let's see. I think they're doing it lickety-split.
Tomorrow.
They want it to turn around by 2027. That's how fast these things are.
May of 2027 is your court date.
That's how speedy justice is.
Yeah, some of them were reported even later than that.
Oh, God. I can't. We're not even a serious country. Come on. We're not. It's what is it that Trump said during the campaign? You either have a border or you're not a country. Absolutely. That's hello. Common sense. But they're going to get massive rains coming up this week along the border, too, which is going to make it even more fun. Joe Bastardi was saying you can see 10 inches of rain down there. It's just going to be a disaster in every sense of the word.
It already is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
might as well make it worse.
Mix with water.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens, too.
Jeez. And the court date thing is so ridiculous. Okay, they're really going to come back.
No, totally.
4 years later. And have their asylum hearing?
Of course.
Okay. All right. Already established somewhere in the country, they're never coming back.
Right. Well, they were saying that when you set up these court dates, they also were saying that there's so many people that they end up just giving them the number and saying, call this number to set up your court date. So if they do that, now you're looking at more than 4 or 5 years in advance for these court dates. And by that time, I'm sure that, we'll have created asylum for all of them, so it'll be fine.
Well, if a Democrat's elected, I'll bet we will.
Yeah, and then it'll be...
in 2024.
Then it'll be they're living in the shadows. We've got to allow them to come out,
Right.
And make them citizens. And
they've already been here.
They've established a life. They've started a family. How can you just rip them out of this country that's their home?
The longer they've been breaking the law, the better it is for them. The more we want them to stay.
Right.
Wow. Jeez. And thank goodness there's Ted Cruz. At least he's down there at the border drawing attention to it, and he's pissed. But I think most of that, though, is that he still hasn't recovered from the beatdown I gave him in foosball. in Iowa back in 2016. I think that's the lingering issue for him.
That's why he's so angry.
I'll talk to him about that so bad.
He's walking around with a chip on his shoulder.
Why don't you pipe down a little bit on the border, okay? What we need to
we
know.
all know what the real issue is for you, Senator, but okay.
That would be awesome if one of those press gatherings, if someone actually asked him that.
Wouldn't it?
Why are you so angry? Does that have anything to do with TV and radio host Pat Gray beating you at foosball in Iowa back in 2016? So a little of that pain lingering? Yeah, I mean, even CNN and MSNBC are having no trouble pointing out the insanity of the border situation. You want to see the CNN reporter talking to this migrant? Because he's going to explain the exact reason why he's choosing right now to invade America. Watch this.
Y una pregunta, ¿usted está enterado del título 42 y
I don't know
que
what this
iban a abrir
babbling is about, though.
la frontera como antes de la pandemia?
Yeah.
Were you aware of Title 42 and that they were going to open the border like before the pandemic? Sí, por eso viniste.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Claro, igual que mucha gente.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, thank you. Gracias, muchas gracias.
I think we got it. He knew Title 42 was ending.
Wait, is he going to pot it up?
The migrants that were...
Anyway, he just basically just repeated that, and he's like, yep, that's why he's coming. Title 42 expiring tonight. Yep, so there we go.
Even CNN goes on record showing it. Okay, that's why these people are here. They know that the rule is going away, and it's all come free now.
Now's the time.
You want to see MSNBC talking to the El Paso mayor? That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
But what they're worried about is that when Title 42 lifts, more will come because they'll think there's an ease in restrictions and it will simply take them longer to process them. They're worried about overcrowding and they're worried about how it will impact cities like El Paso. In fact, Jose Diaz-Balart just interviewed the mayor of El Paso, and here's what he had to say.
We prepared for days. We prepared for weeks. The city of El Paso, we don't do immigration law. We're here to protect our visitors, but also make sure that the community of El Paso stays and continues to be safe.
What keeps you up at night?
Here we go.
You know, what keeps me up at night, I always tell people, is the lack of light.
What do you mean the lack of light?
Well, because I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is no end game.
There's no end game. Democrat mayor.
Say there is no end game. That is really what I'm hearing. Even from DHS officials I've spoken to, Andrea, say they feel like they're at the breaking point before they even get to the starting line.
Look at that.
Duh. I mean,
there's a
you've
Democrat
seen the streets.
Democrat DHS, Democrat mayor of El Paso. They're like, we have no idea what's happening here.
It's just too overwhelming.
Right.
And
you just can't deal with it like
just
this.
like the Ted Cruz clip you played. This is an invasion. It's intentional.
Yep.
They are trying to destroy this nation.
They're doing a pretty good job.
Yes, they are.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
I love this guy.
Oh, who doesn't?
I love this guy.
Doesn't? You know, here's some of what he had to say yesterday at a press conference. He says the border will be a challenge now. Wait, I thought the border border was secure.
Yeah, all right.
All right, but here he is.
Can I just follow? Our teams in El Paso say that there are hundreds of migrants now in the open, in shelter with very limited access to food and water and bathrooms for days. Why are they being processed? Is that what we can expect?
So we are working very closely with nonprofit organizations, with community groups to really deliver a community response to the challenge. Sure. I cannot understate. I cannot overstate how much of a challenge it is going to be, and how we all have to deal with it as one administration and one country.
Oh, jeez, this guy.
No, I think you did understate it. It's far worse than that. Yes, you can understate it. You should have stuck with that.
He wants a community response. In other words, we want places like the mayor of El Paso to step up and do this for us. We have no plan. You guys figure it out. We need a community response. That's called passing the buck.
Thousands of people have flooded into El Paso, and they don't have the resources for it. There's no way you can prepare for that. But we want them to fix it.
Yeah, take care of it.
Because we're not going to.
Yeah. And what he wanted us to answer the call as a country, you saw Mayor Adams is busing immigrants out of New York City past Democrat counties that are, sanctuary cities, sanctuary counties, into Republican majority areas that don't want the immigrants there.
Yep.
But we're going to answer the call as a country. We could just build a freaking wall. Could we do that?
No, that's unneighborly.
That's how we should deal with it as a country.
That's not neighborly. Surprised at you, Keith. What
are you?
Yeah, what a bigoted, horrible xenophobic suggestion that we build a wall. What are you, a MAGA Trump person? Is that what you are?
If wanting a wall makes me a MAGA Trump person, then
Yeah.
I guess I'm guilty.
You know how many new miles of wall were built under Trump? New. Yes, he fixed existing portions, but how many new miles?
How long is the
were
border?
built?
The border, the southern
2,100
border?
miles.
Yeah.
So, 1,985.
Oh, good
miles.
guess. It's somewhat below that. You did go over. You would be a loser on The Price is Right. 52. 52 miles were added to the impenetrable wall.
I would say that's what an executive order gets you instead of a law.
Yes.
But of course, 20 years ago when they passed a law, they still didn't go carry through with it.
I mean, it said shall be built. Nope. Nope. It wasn't.
Right.
And you know who it was? It was a Texan that stopped that. It was Kay Barely Hutchinson.
All right.
Kay Barely Republican?
Barely Republican Hutchinson.
She sucked.
Kay Bailey, I don't miss her in office, that's for sure. And it's sad again because both John Cornyn and Kay Bailey Hutchinson were both pretty conservative when they entered office. And then...
Amazing how they do that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Happens all the time. So, Mayorkas was asked about the border gotaways. Here's what he said about that.
They point to Border Patrol's own numbers, which show that going back to October of last year, there were more than 1 million apprehensions, but then there were also more than 530,000 gotaways. That's roughly the size of the population of the city of Baltimore. How can you say that the border is not open?
So we removed, returned, and expelled 1.4 million people last year. Ask those
he asked about
1.4 million people if they think the border is open. Our apprehension rate at the border is consistent with the apprehension rate in prior years.
The border is secure.
There you go.
Wait. He's trying to compare himself to prior administrations now? I thought they inherited this massive problem at the border. Why are you trying to compare? I swear these people suck so hard.
The worst. They're the worst. He also talked about the cost of illegal immigration.
You talk about cost. What's the rough cost to American taxpayers since the roughly 4 million people have come into this country illegally since January of 2021? As those people show up at community hospitals, as they enter the school system, as they get other government help, do you have a taxpayer cost?
Let me turn that question
it's almost
around
free.
a little bit.
Listen to this
because I'm going to turn it around to
What's the
match
cost
the
if we
question
don't
that an international partner asked of me.
Yeah.
And the question that the international partner asked of me is what is the economic cost of your broken immigration system? Since there are businesses around this country that are desperate for workers.
Oh, Hank Johnson,
there are
what's
desperate
up?
workers looking for jobs. Desperate workers in foreign countries that are looking for jobs in the United States where they can earn money lawfully and send much needed remittances back home. What is the cost of a broken immigration system? That is the question that I am asked, and that is the question that I pose to Congress because it is extraordinary.
Wow.
Avocados from Mexico.
And everything else.
Yeah.
So
we're the...
So it's we need them. What the answer is? Where are we going to get our janitors? How much will it cost us if we have to clean our own garbage up? I'm not doing that. Are you?
I like the spin of where they can earn money legally. Well, it's based on an illegal process.
Yeah, and they're also breaking some other law. They're either committing identity theft and fraud or tax evasion or both.
I'm going to turn that around. Right. And by the way, he just, in one question, he just said, hey, we're just like previous administrations with our numbers. And then in the next question, he's like, well, what's the cost of our broken immigration system? Your broken immigration system that you've had control of the reins for over 2 years now, that you just said you're on pace with others. You try, just like with everything with this administration, try to have it both ways. I can't take it. Ugh.
And they do. And they do. All right, we'll have his final remarks in just a second. But first... let me tell you about Manscaped. So many great products that, they've got the lawnmower, which mows your lawn that's kind of down in that area, and they have the beard trimmer. They got full body grooming, whatever you need.
It's awesome.
To get a smooth, comfortable shave in whatever area of your body that you need shaved. And as men, we need them all shaved, pretty much. But inside the performance package that's being offered right now, you'll also find the Manscaped Crop Preserver, some deodorant, crop receiver, and anti-chafing deodorant and moisturizer.
You need that.
Because
Jeff and I, we hate the
chafing. It's not good.
Fan of the
Can we all
anti-chafing,
agree?
yes.
Chafing is not pleasant. So be chafing free and get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the offer code UNLEASHED at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping when you use the offer code UNLEASHED.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
It is. And welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, this kind of sums it all up for Alejandro Mayorkas on this press conference.
He's such a
We have
smug.
done all we can.
Look, we've done all we
with
can.
the resources that we have and within the system that we are operating under.
One more time from the top, just so you understand.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, just so you understand what he's saying here. Hello?
We have done all we can
No.
with the resources that we have and within the system that we are operating under.
Okay.
I mean, what a preposterous, how insulting to our intelligence that is.
Done all they can, Pat.
They've done all they can.
Within the system that they have.
Thank you.
Right.
That they
Well,
inherited from a previous administration.
It's a broken system. Granted, it is, but they could easily fix it. Build the freaking wall. Put some people at the border. Get tough. Enforce the existing laws we've had in place for decades. Do those things, and it won't solve every single problem, but it will certainly help. It's a good start. Nobody can stop every single person from entering illegal. You can't. It's impossible with a 2,100-mile border. But
well, we've got 52 miles of new wall.
That's true. That is true. So I think overall there's something like 400 miles. That's almost, you're what? You're almost there.
We're in jail now.
How many miles did they walk from their original destination where they started?
Like in some cases, 1,500, 2,000 miles.
Oh, no. Look, I got all the way up here. I've got to go another 400 miles.
Not doing it. Yeah, not doing it. I'll just lay down here and die. It's stupid. But we could do something about it, and we just don't. It's really,
I mean, until the
Americans,
until the country decides that they've had enough, and it may, hopefully it happens soon.
I think it will happen this time because it's going to be so bad.
It's going to be overwhelming.
Yeah, and the American people are going to say, "Okay, enough, enough of this." Jeez. But, they're doing all they can. They're doing the best they can. They're setting up asylum hearings for just 4 years from now. So in 4 years, bang, we'll hear your case. That's almost immediate.
Sorry,
I'm
trying to read between the lines here. Are you saying that Americans don't currently appreciate the president that they have, Joe Biden?
It's hard to believe, but yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Boy, he was in rare form yesterday. I mean, you got to see him talking about...
I want to.
Surrounded by kids.
Oh no! By all that is holy.
Yeah,
that should not happen.
So he's done with it. He's done with
Hopefully
the speech.
Jill was there though.
He's done
to say
who is scheduling this and allowing these kids this close to
Jill
him?
has not been around lately, handling him. There's something going on there.
So he can't wait to conclude his remarks so that he can say this to the crowd.
Right. Pardon, as the president departs.
All the kids under the age of 15, come on up here.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Let me get a look. Let me get a look at you.
And then this just.
I got some candy.
Right. Seriously.
Candy for
Let me
you.
get a look
kids.
at you.
Get in my car. Little candy.
If I were there, I'd be like, nah.
No.
Don't think
not
you're going up
to.
there near the pedo. Sorry. Gonna stay down here with mom and dad.
I mean, he's just shaking their hand.
That's all he's doing. You're right. You're right, Jeffy.
He's just saying hello
Thank you.
to these young kids.
Thank you. That's good.
To see the president
That's because
of the
he hasn't
United
found the one he
States
likes
of
yet.
America.
He's looking him over. Yeah, okay. You keep defending the old pervert.
He's just freaky. I'm surprised you didn't tell him not to jump. Don't jump. Don't jump, kids.
Get up here on stage.
But don't jump. Don't jump.
Yeah.
His EPA chief, Michael Regan, wants all of us to just relax about new mandates that are coming down the pike for the Green New Deal. Just time to accept it. Shut up and just accept it. We're spending trillions of dollars on it, so just shut up.
This is enraging.
Now, the good news is our work is not sacrifice. These aren't restrictions, as some would say. This is about seizing the moment and understanding that we have an obligation to not only leave behind a healthier planet for generations that will come after us, but to leave behind a fairer and more just society.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
All of this under the auspices of
climate change.
Inflation Reduction Act, you'll recall.
The Inflation Reduction Act, which, by the way, I think we mentioned inflation went up 4.9% last month, year over year, another 4.9%. You know what that amounts to since he came into office?
Ooh, I like this, because the year over year doesn't work anymore because it was inflated a year ago.
Right.
What are we at now since 2021?
15.3% overall. Much higher than that in certain categories, like food.
Yeah.
Food is up around 20% since he came to office.
Believe me, I know.
You know about food prices?
I know.
Jesse knows about food prices.
I do.
Hey, fat.
I do. My kids are getting thinner.
Oh, no.
Are they?
Yeah, we've had to cut back a little bit.
How you doing over there?
You had to cut back for the kids so that you'd still have yours, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, obviously.
That's correct.
Let's see some of these specifics here. I mean, the way they couch the numbers is always to their benefit, of course. And so they use different metrics and all that. But somebody broke this down to show you what is happening because they keep saying, see, the inflation's coming down. Our prices are coming down. No, when it goes up 4.9%, that means it went up another almost 5% from last year, which is added to every other number that we've had, which got to 9.1% at one point. I think it was last June. 9.1%. So you add all of that up, and prices just keep going up. They keep inflating. Nobody's paying less for the things they're buying.
No.
Nobody. So hopefully this will sink into their psyche, and we'll get rid of this guy in 2024. The worst.
And we've just become used to the $3 a gallon for gas.
We have.
I mean,
and then you think, well, there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just going to pay.
It drops down. Oh, it's only
what are you going to do?
It's only $2.80. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Are you paying $2.80 somewhere?
Overton window.
Really?
Yeah, you got to get.
Wow, that's really good.
Cool
I need to go to
town.
your area of town. Pay $2.80. $2.80 is great. That's only $1 a gallon higher than when Trump left office. Huh?
I know.
That's really good. See, that's how we've been conditioned.
I know.
Overton window of American way of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Overton window is one of the most useful things we ever learned, I think, in the last decade or so.
We see it.
Yeah, all the time. The Cloward Piven thing with overwhelming the system, which is exactly what they're doing at the border.
Yeah.
Just overwhelming the system. What are you going to do about it? All right, take care of all these illegals.
Look, we're doing the best we can.
I understand that El Paso tried to round some up and tried to get rid of some of the tent cities and, I don't know, just the back alley ways that are all crowded with people. But
sounds like a MAGA plan to me.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Right?
Though? Yep.
And I was looking at one report where they show the illegals. I'm sorry, the migrants, the refugees, the climate refugees in these cities, and they like to say that they're hanging out in front of churches, but what it is they go onto the church property, so nobody.
Right, then they sanctuary supposedly. Crazy. More coming up. Just saw a Fox News poll. It showed the gap between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis is narrowing like crazy. It's only 53 to 21% now.
I mean, that town hall helped a lot.
So DeSantis went from 16% to 21%.
Oh, there you go. So
and Trump went from 54 to 52. So
the town hall helped DeSantis.
Yeah, it's a mere 32-point spread now. Just a mere 32-point spread. Trump was great. The great thing about the Trump thing, even CNN knows that he kicked their anus.
Yes.
They all understand it. They all get it. Yes. Their audience understands it. The CNN anchors understand it. We'll play you something from Anderson Cooper. He's really pissed. And he's pissed
that he wasn't doing the interview?
CNN.
Oh.
No, he's pissed that they had Trump on because Trump barbecued them. It was awesome. Well, happy Mother's Day weekend.
Thank you.
To all the moms out there, and especially to Caller Bill.
Right.
Wherever you are, Caller Bill.
We should go to Bill.
Wait. Pause it for a second.
Bill. Yeah, we need to explain this a little bit.
This was 9
When I
years
first
ago.
came to Dallas, I used to listen to this talk radio, this sports talk show that everybody was talking about in the Dallas Metroplex. And we're getting music from somewhere. You probably told them that. And they would break up in absolute hysterics about every 30 seconds. Somebody would say something like and it would all erupt into laughter and frivolity and some other. So I don't want to leave the rest of our new listeners behind on this.
Okay.
So we need to explain certain things because that's really frustrating. When it's an inside joke, I mean, that station is involved only in inside jokes, I think. But a caller named Bill called us. Was this 9 years ago?
That's what that clip just said on there. I can't believe
May
that.
of 2014.
Wow.
During Pat and Stu, which, by the way, people always ask, hey, where are the Pat and Stu archives? I guess they're not on Blaze TV. I can't find them. They are on SoundCloud. So if you ever want to find an old episode, you can hear it. And that's where I found this. To take you back.
Good to know.
Yeah. So
this was the Friday before Mother's Day, like
9
today.
years ago.
And here's what happened with Caller Bill.
Hi. We should go to Bill in St. Louis. Bill, hi. You're on the Pat and Stu program.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good.
You guys talk about Mother's Day, you know. Aren't fathers just as important as mothers?
Yes, but it's not Father's Day, Bill.
Yeah, but still, everybody's always talking about mothers, but you guys never talk about fathers.
Well, except around Father's Day.
Well, at Father's Day, we'll talk about fathers, but
well, you need to promote how fathers are just as important, if not more important than mothers, because look what happens with families, with single-parent families.
It's a good point.
What happens with those children?
It's a good point, Bill, but it's also not Father's Day. But on Father's Day, I'm pretty sure
it's not about that.
We'll stress the
It actually is.
importance
We have this thing. We have this thing we go by on the show, which is called the calendar, and it has specific dates, 24-hour periods. The week is broken, and we actually explain week. That's 7 24-hour periods, and when it gets near the date,
year round.
We do. We talk about mothers on a regular basis, do we?
I'm a big fan. I've listened to you guys for years. I'm a big fan. You guys do this all the time.
We do this all the time. All the time we talk about mothers. Really?
There ain't no need to be rude, Pat.
I'm asking you a question. It's sort of in the form of a question.
Quite often. Put it that way. You do it quite often.
Which really, I actually.
A good day.
Wow.
Oh, Bill's all wound up
He got
there.
pissed.
Yeah. He got pissed.
Bill, I mean,
Bill was supposedly a big fan and listens to us all the
you pissed him
time.
off.
And then we're doing what we do, and he got pissed.
Yeah, see, seems like maybe he wasn't a big fan.
It seems like Bill didn't really know us.
Yeah, no.
So hold on. What set him off was you saying like something very innocuous.
Yeah,
like
we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, but
All
when
the
Stu
time,
went
right,
through
Bill?
how the calendar works,
that
wasn't a problem.
Just a tad more condescending.
You guys are doing what you do.
All right. We also had a really nice bunch of gifts sent to us. This is from Monique, right?
Yeah.
All the best to everyone. Enjoy the shirts. And then she gives us washing instructions.
That's cool.
Which Jeffy just tossed his out because he'll never be washed.
Be careful. There's glitter all over that card.
Yeah, I noticed that.
No,
Forward that to my wife.
Is she in the kitchen right now?
So how can she do laundry when she's cooking?
Right.
So yeah, I said something. Speaking of Pat and Stu, it's very ironic. I was out there once, and you guys made fun of me appropriately so because I said the topography of Nebraska is so underrated, and that just became a thing around the office.
So there it is.
I now have a topography shirt with glitter on it.
And then we've got Jeffy's "Where Are You on the Hand" in Michigan.
Is that where the glitter came from?
I came from Glitter Kingdom down the road here.
No, I'm seeing some kind of glitter on Pat, and it's driving me insane.
That's because it's from the card.
Yeah.
Okay. It's driving me insane.
Glitter
I keep
is, I swear.
I keep thinking you were at the Glitter
What is the
Kingdom
comedian
last
said? Glitter is the herpes of the craft world.
That's a good description.
I love that line. Yeah.
And then,
so I guess she kind of.
I got the mean streets of topography.
I guess
nice.
they took my thing there. I don't know. And
Where
mixed
are
it
you
in
on
there.
the hand? I like that very much.
Thank you so much. I love these.
That's really awesome. So
glitter included.
Yeah. And I love me some big shirts and these are big shirts. Let's see, what do we got here? Is it? Oh, yeah, it's 2X.
Oh, yeah, I better take a look.
Okay, what is yours, Jeffy? 7X?
Let's hope it's at least 4, right?
Oh.
What do you got?
Oh, no.
No, the glasses have to come on first.
I know how that goes.
Oh, this is 4X, 4 tall.
Okay, wow.
It'll be a tight squeeze, but we're good.
What is it for?
Okay.
Oh, we do have a bingo winner? Oh, cool. That's what I'm hearing. The call screen in here is apparently messed up because it's not showing that. So very good. I was wondering.
All right.
So who do we got? Daniel? Eric? Okay, Eric, what's up?
Eric? Hey, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
I got a, you know the thing. Bingo. Sorry.
All right.
Another Biden moment in my life.
I didn't even realize it happened. So tell me where your bingo occurred.
Middle row across.
Okay. Yep.
I got it. Jeffy. I mean.
Right.
Joey, I worry about you.
Yep.
Caller Bill was just mentioned.
Just happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers don't lie.
Yep.
And can I fact check that by Keith?
Nicely done.
All right, man.
Eric, so we got your information so we can get all the goodies to you?
Yes, you did.
All right, man. Thanks for listening. Cool. Appreciate it. We also have some tweets here from our friends. Dave the Man tweets, the border isn't as bad as January 6th. Well, powerful point there. Thank you.
What is?
Dave the Man for that reminder, because January 6th was the day democracy almost died. And so the border can't compare to that. I mean, we will live and thrive with millions of illegal people here, as we have done for the last 246 years. Asphalt Knight tweets, you know who really deserves the blame for the border situation? Republicans for doing absolutely nothing to stop it. True enough.
They know better.
Yeah. True enough. Raphael's son, I'd be lying if I said this segment isn't making my blood boil. Democrats are destroying this country and Republicans are letting it happen. I feel your pain. I do. Adrian Slade, aren't you happy that suburban Karen, who transgendered her little Braden and flies her BLM flag on her front porch, voted for increased border chaos and fentanyl trafficking over mean tweets?
Yeah.
Yes, really glad. We're very blessed in that particular fact. Because, man, what would we do without Joe Biden in a leadership position? Well, we'd thrive. So, never mind. I got everything confused there for a second. Let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you've ever bought or sold a house in your life, you know it's stressful. It can be overwhelming. That's why we've kind of ignored it. We've been planning to maybe sell our house since pretty much all our kids left, and we just don't. And so it doesn't help to avoid the problem. What helps is getting a great realtor who can give you really good advice and help you get all the money you can out of your house. Or if you're buying, help you get all the house you can for your money. And then a lot of people are doing both because they're relocating. So you really definitely need Real Estate Agents I Trust. It's really important to have somebody you can trust. I mean, we've talked about Glenn's situation before in Connecticut. They just, really got burned by a bad realtor.
Yeah.
And I think their house sat literally, wasn't it 4 years?
It was a long time.
I think it was 4
honestly,
years.
I don't remember how long it was. It seemed like really, literally forever.
It did, which is why it wound up selling for $39.95. Not a good price for the house he lived in.
No, it was not.
Yeah, and that was before they tipped on a house. You're supposed to tip your realtor now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No, remember
I'll bet you are.
No, we were talking
You
about...
were talking about tips. Yeah, we're going to get into the tip situation, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I know.
What do they get, 3%, 5% of the sale, plus they get a tip?
Yeah, that'd be a good April Fool's Day joke story.
We'll get into that coming up. But here's the process. You go to realestateagentsitrust.com, provide us with some basic info, then our team contacts you to make an introduction to our preferred agent in your town. That's a free service that we provide to you. It's realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So CNN tried to calm its liberal audience down a bit last night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
I tell you, they had, I got the 3.12 million total viewers.
Yeah, so we mentioned the ratings are going to be through the roof because of Trump, and they were.
Yeah.
Yep, they doubled.
Of course.
And Fox, meanwhile, since Tucker left, in that time slot, has been cut in half. Incredible. So, anyway, here's Anderson Cooper and his opening remarks on his show last night.
Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset with someone who attempted to destroy our democracy. It was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions and predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie.
Pause it for a second. They have no problem with Joe Biden looking in our face every day and lying to us.
Oh, yeah.
Lie after lie after lie. Joe Biden he tells more lies in a week than Trump has in his 76 years of life. I can't take it. Yep. At least look at the other side. Can you just look? Provable lies. Yes. Every time he opens his mouth. Joe Biden. Every time. All right, let's see the rest of this agonizing monologue.
It was disturbing. It was disturbing to see and hear that person refer to a black law enforcement officer as a thug, an adjective he used many times to describe black men, and call Caitlin Collins, the moderator, nasty, which is what he calls any woman who stands up to him. It was disturbing to hear him speak so highly of QAnon conspirators and insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in our democracy on January 6th.
In our democracy.
It was awful.
We don't have a democracy, dumbass.
You're
smart enough to know
and
that.
And it was
Anderson.
certainly disturbing to hear that audience, young and old, our fellow citizens, people who love their kids and go to church, laugh and applaud his lies and his continued defamation of a woman who, according to a jury of his peers, he sexually abused and defamed. As good a job as Caitlin Collins did trying to fact check him, it is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly. Now, many of you think CNN shouldn't have given him any platform to speak, and I understand the anger about that. Giving him the audience, the time, I get that.
You get it.
But this is what I also get.
Uh-oh.
The man you were so disturbed to see and hear from last night, that man is the front runner for the Republican nomination for president. And according to polling, no other Republican is even close. That man you were so upset to hear from last night, he may be president of the United States in less than 2 years. And that audience that upset you, that's a sampling of about half the country. They are your family members, your neighbors, and they are voting. And many said they're voting for him. Now, maybe you haven't been paying attention to him since he left office. Maybe you've been enjoying not hearing from him, thinking it can't happen again. Some investigation is going to stop him. Well, it hasn't so far. So if last night showed anything, it showed it can happen again. It is happening again. He hasn't changed. and he is running hard. You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again.
I can't take it anymore.
But do you think staying...
It ends with... this ad paid for by Joe Biden for president.
And Pfizer and Moderna. So I intentionally held this next clip from you guys. So I wanted you to be surprised. But Mazemore, who's a genius on social media, took basically the energy you had leading into that about how we're like, hey, why don't they ever call out Joe Biden? Oh, that's been redone. And I think you're going to enjoy this quite bigly. Watch this.
Good evening. Before we begin with tonight's broadcast, I want to say something about what we witnessed at last night's town hall. Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. It was disturbing. That man, President of the United States, predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
It is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly.
It's one thing to have the vaccine, which we didn't have when we came into office.
And it was certainly disturbing.
The Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online.
You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again.
That's
really good.
Good stuff, right?
Yes.
Anyway, I thought you'd appreciate
There's the lies. Those are the innocuous lies that mean nothing, really. If you went through the lies, you'd never stop. It would never stop.
Yeah.
It would be an infinite amount of lying, and you'd have to play the clips forever.
Oh, did I send in the meme of Joe Biden? Joe, I don't know if it's on here, man. Oh, crap. About Joe Biden's career. Yeah, Biden got caught meme. Yeah, look at that. That's exactly what you were just saying, Pat. Can you put up the Biden got caught meme? Do we have time here? Watch this.
Yeah, we got a minute. So there it is.
Cheated in law school, got caught.
Okay.
Lied about his grades, got caught.
Plagiarized his speeches, lied about his GPA, lied about his scholarships, sold vice president's office to China, sold vice president's office to Ukraine, committed quid pro quo to save his crackhead son, framed General Flynn. I mean, yes, that's just a very partial list, too. Those are significant.
Only so much room on a screen.
Right. My gosh. I mean, when you really sit down and contemplate it, this guy is, as Peter Schweitzer said, the most corrupt politician in American history. And he said that a decade ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Long time ago. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
Thanks for being with us as we head into Mother's Day weekend. Sorry, Bill. Caller Bill, I apologize. He was probably so pissed that he's currently not listening.
I came back.
Just in case. Bill, if you are listening,
he came back.
Give us a call.
He came back.
Okay.
All right. Did you know we talked about the statute of limitations for sexual assault in New York? It's typically 5 to 7 years. Used to be. They even have a 20-year period for civil claims of sexual assault. But of course, when they're trying to hurt Donald Trump, that's not enough because this happened. I don't know when. Maybe 1996.
Well, she doesn't even remember. Could have been 94,
she doesn't know.
Could have been 95.
So you might recognize 1996 as more than 20 years, though. So she can't even sue him civilly. But New York changed their law.
Oh, how helpful.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that was the whole deal, right? It's good until this November. Right?
Now
it was good for a year
because of her.
Yeah. And on the first day it was available to her, that's when she filed the lawsuit. And then we found out last night from DC Drano, tweeted out, Trump accuser Jean Carroll admits on CNN that she helped New York Democrats pass the new law. that extended the statute of limitations for sexual assault in civil lawsuits beyond 20 years.
I mean, just so obvious what they're doing here.
Conflict of interest? Anyone?
Always.
Hello? That is incredible. I mean, they have no shame.
No, it doesn't matter. It's the end
justifies the means,
and that's just the way it is.
Yep. And if you don't like it, tough, because they've got the mainstream media to protect them. And I mean, even when that protection is breaking down, still nobody pays attention to it. Like the Washington Post has actually done some good things lately, fact-checking Joe Biden. They've actually called out a few of his lies. And that still doesn't matter. They don't care. It was not just the Washington Post either. There was somebody else that was AP. The AP fact-checked him.
That was on the 200 murders.
Yeah.
Of the murders, yeah.
Which is a big
mass
one.
Murders, yes.
And they said that because he keeps repeating that lie over and over and over, despite the fact it's been proven to be a lie. Doesn't matter to him. He just keeps saying it. I think the Post might have even given him, was that the thing they gave him the bottomless lie on? They actually gave him a bottomless lie.
Which is more intense than the 4 Pinocchios they gave him for saying that Republicans wanted to eliminate veterans' benefits.
Yes, I would say it is.
What was the bottomless one is below that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? We just have fun just exploring this presidential world every day. It's awesome.
It is.
Also, California is struggling right now a little bit with this reparations situation. They have proposed the reparations committee to pay black Americans, well, Californians, all black Californians, $1.2 million. So the task force made that recommendation, but Gavin Newsom is realizing, well, that's going to cost us $800 billion.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Even I can't go along with that.
Yeah, and he's probably thinking, that's not going to play well on a national stage when I run for president.
Right. Especially since California is not a slave state. What are you going to apologize for?
Yeah, but why is California stopping at just Californian blacks, right? I mean, do not all blacks in this country deserve this?
Sure they do.
Why don't you...
they sure
What
do.
about those of us that identify as black?
Right. What about those that identify as black? Right? I mean, come on.
Do you get the 1.2 million?
I'm going to give it a shot. I'll tell you that.
So the Reparations Committee wants apologies now, too. And they want apologies for Ronald Reagan, coining the phrase welfare queen.
Oh, get over yourself.
Here's a little hint. He didn't coin the phrase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Is that a lie? I thought he was
It's
the
a
guy.
lie.
I thought he was the guy.
He did say it in a speech.
Okay.
I believe once he used the term welfare queen. He did not coin it. That was the Chicago Tribune. Yeah.
Huh.
So.
Yeah, but why would you need an apology for that? I don't understand. Like, are they making some insinuation about race here?
Indeed. Doesn't that seem racist that
Sure
you're
does.
assuming all welfare queens are black?
Right.
Oh, come on.
Back off.
Now, when they made the claim, when Chicago Tribune coined that phrase, it was about a woman named Linda Taylor who had been collecting, get this, more than $150,000 a year. This is in the mid-'70s. She was getting which is probably like $1.5 million today.
I'll find out.
But $150,000 a year in payments from various social safety net programs. Wow.
Excellent. I mean, she was just trying to get by.
Just trying to make it. Just trying to make ends meet. Yeah.
Jeffy.
So, here's a few of the things they want California to apologize for as Keith searches for the comparison today. In today's dollars, how much $150,000 a year would be. So pick like 1975.
That's what I was looking up the article here. 1974. Yep. Okay. Found it. All right. Stand by.
For news.
For a tally.
A former Confederate is serving as the acting president of the University of California. So they want that apologized for, and obviously him fired. California not passing any anti-slavery laws despite being admitted to the Union. a free state. Why would they?
Wait, there's a Confederate still alive? What did I miss there?
I know. I wanted to get back to that,
I mean,
too.
that's, I think, don't bury the lead here.
He's a tad aged at this point. There are Confederate monuments.
Okay.
There are zoning ordinances targeting black people. I don't know the specifics on that because they don't list any. They suppressed the Black Panther Party in the 1960s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
How dare they?
Right.
That was such a beautiful organization. I don't know why you would do that.
I mean, that's Buttigieg's rant, too, about the zoning issues that repress
That target black people?
the African-American community,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, along with roads, which are
That
all
would be
racist.
part of the zoning.
Developing oil and gas projects and building hazardous waste plants near majority black neighborhoods. How about terminating affirmative action programs in public employment? They've done that. They want an apology. Racial disparities in the child welfare system, law enforcement, the prison population, jury service, health care, the number of black physicians and licensed attorneys. They got to fix every single problem of minorities, according to this committee, and licensing requirements excluding black people from skilled jobs. Wow, is that racist? So you're saying
No kidding.
no blacks can get licensed?
Right. And they're talking about the
can't
neighborhoods
take
that they
it.
live in. They can't move.
Right.
They're
No,
just-
they can't.
There's no way
they're
that they
stuck.
could move.
They're absolutely stuck there. Do we know what the inflation adjusted
In
number would be?
1974, $150,000. Today would be worth $923,000.
Not over $1 million, like Pat said. Okay, that's what I thought.
Wow. How do you live with this guy? Yeah, so there you go. Nearly $1 million.
Jeez. Absolutely outrageous.
Serious.
Collecting
can you imagine somebody
government
collecting
benefits.
$1 million in welfare checks a year?
I guarantee you
Wow.
there's plenty of somebodies out there doing it right now.
I'm sure there are. Yeah, I'm sure there are.
Maddening. And they're coming across the border as we speak.
Right.
More of them.
Jeez. Now, check out this clip of civil rights activist Bob Woodson from a Dr. Phil show a couple of weeks back.
Talking about reparations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
There were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery than we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. You're talking about remedies. We've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression.
Good stuff, man.
Amen.
Really good.
I love that.
You know, and only a black man could say those things.
And big thanks
Really.
to LBJ and the Great Society for destroying the black family. And so much more was destroyed under that
Now
program.
you go from 98% of having a mother and a father in the home back in the 30s and 40s to 70% I think it's 73% now who don't.
Right.
So it's almost a complete turnaround on the black family. Man, that is tragic. So bad. And they don't care. I mean, the Democrats love that because that's how they try to make them dependent upon that party. Also, this is kind of bizarre. Just a little bit lighter topic. Bo Jackson says he's dealing with hiccups, and it's been over a year now.
Wow.
That he's had the hiccups.
That sucks.
Oh, I mean, are they? How continuous are they?
Can you sleep through hiccups? I'd
be interested.
Let's see. He's been suffering in intermittent silence. The multi-sport legend will undergo a procedure later this week to address a bout of chronic hiccups that he's dealt with since July of last year. So it's been almost a year. When asked about seeing fellow Auburn legend Frank Thomas's statue dedication Jackson revealed that he didn't attend because of the hiccups.
Can you imagine telling someone that excuse? I'd love to come, but I
got hiccups. And
I got hiccups.
That sounds like a Jeffy lie.
We had the girl on in Tampa Bay that I think she still has the world record of having the hiccups. She finally went to some doctor that cured her. I don't know what he did.
Oh,
I don't know if he
did. He have her smell the ass of a porcupine?
That's one of the.
That's one of the attempted solutions for Bo Jackson.
I mean, if you're going to try anything, right? I mean, if you've had the hiccups that long, and I don't know how many.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the time frame is between the hiccups.
Yeah, I don't know.
But whatever it is, it's still annoying. And you can, getting through your day-to-day life. So if someone says, my grandmother smelled the ass of a porcupine and her hiccups stopped.
I mean,
that's what you should do.
I've tried everything.
Absolutely.
I've tried everything. But have you tried smelling a porcupine's backside? Because you haven't tried everything.
I haven't yet, but bring me a porcupine right now.
I haven't. I ain't had hiccups. Okay.
I really hate hiccups. They're obnoxious. They're annoying. And usually, if you breathe from your diaphragm, for me, that cures them right away. So maybe Bo should have done that a year ago.
So now, I will say that I read a cure once that seems to work. Hold your breath and think of elephants.
Hold your breath and think of elephants.
The hiccups will go away. That's a cure.
So if you thought of a rhinoceros, it wouldn't work while you were holding your breath? What if you thought of a horse?
No.
A gerbil?
No.
Okay.
He was very clear.
He was clear.
It was an elephant.
I apologize.
Somebody get Bo on the phone.
Dumb
Yeah,
questions.
so check this out. That girl you were talking about, Jennifer Mee.
Yeah.
She claimed that she had hiccups 50 times per minute.
Yeah, it was a lot. We had her on the air. Yeah, we had her on the air before. She's in prison now, though. So
in prison for what?
Yeah, she killed somebody.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah. Her and her friends.
Some guy online.
Yeah, met some guy, called him into some building, beat him to death or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
And I don't know if it was because of could have been the afterthoughts of the hiccups. Yeah.
You know what cures hiccups? Murder.
Oh yeah.
Murder. Yeah, take them right away from you.
That should have been her defense.
Just bring me the porcupine.
Wow.
Yeah, that story says something about a guy who holds the record. How many years was it? 68 years toward the bottom of the page there?
Holy
no, I thought my girl.
The bottom of the first page or the second?
My girl in Tampa has the world record.
I don't know. This guy. Doesn't say there toward the bottom, 68.
Look at the causes. 68. Pro Bowler. That sounds like a miserable experience. Pro Bowler, MLB All-Star. The procedure will hopefully... Okay. Charles... it doesn't...
What? Let me...
No, yes, it does. Okay. Charles Osborne, still unexplained, 68 years of hiccups. 68 years.
Elephants, porcupines, anything.
Yeah, hold your breath. Think about it.
Whatever. Scare the hell out of me every minute of every day. I'm not doing this for 68 years.
How would you sleep?
Why is that guy carrying a porcupine around with him? I don't know.
That sucks, man.
Oh, yeah.
When you think of things that suck, rarely do you think chronic hiccups. But I can't imagine living like that.
Can't either.
That would be terrible.
Oh, geez.
Pat, this is incredible news we have from Preborn. My gosh.
Oh.
We are up to...
No way. We got the fourth?
4 machines purchased.
Oh, my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
for
helping.
The tally is now over $63,000. And then I posted it again yesterday on Twitter. So who knows? Maybe
we'll do a 5th.
Can you retweet that and expose to a different audience that isn't aware of this? You guys are so awesome raising this money for Preborn and these ultrasound machines.
And why ultrasounds? Because once a woman who's planning to abort her child sees the ultrasound, she's 80% more likely. She's twice as likely, and about 80% of the time, she chooses life. After seeing the ultrasound. That's how powerful they are.
Yeah, with these new 4 machines, I'd like to get that number up.
Number up. Absolutely. So, if you would like to help out, go to preborn.com/Pat, and or you could type in pound 250.
Oh, okay.
Okay, pound 250. You can go that way and say the keyword baby. Pound 250 keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat. Freeborn.com/Pat. And if you still want to contribute to another
that's awesome.
machine, maybe we can get it done in 2 days.
And so go to Pat Unleashed on Twitter, if you wouldn't mind, and just retweeting that tweet that you'll find that that contains the Preborn link and talks about the ultrasound machines. Thank you all so much for not only making this happen and making it a reality times 4+, but just for coming up the idea. You guys are so great.
Preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
All right, welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Just in case you come in contact with Charlize Theron, famous Hollywood actress Charlize Theron, do not say anything critical of kids attending drag events because she will F you up.
Wow.
And you know she can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, man. This is so pathetic and despicable. They had this Drag Isn't Dangerous telethon, and they described a drag event as a night of entertainment and pure queer joy to combat recent anti-LGBTQIA2+ legislation across the country. There's been none. There's been no legislation like that. There's been legislation to protect children, and I guess you can't do that. Not around Charlize Theron.
Don't do it.
Anyway, don't even try it.
Because she will.
She will F you up, is what she'll do. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Yep.
So the telethon raised more than $585,000. The GoFundMe campaign said the beneficiary of the crowdfunding push was Black Queer Town Hall, a self-described nonprofit organization led by Peppermint and Bob the Drag Queen.
Love
Bob the Drag
Queen. Love Peppermint.
Man, who doesn't? That is committed to celebrating Black queer excellence by supporting and cultivating community, sharing knowledge, and uplifting voices.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
That is.
Fundraiser featured celebrities like Jesse Eisenberg, Amy Schumer, Leslie Jones, Margaret Cho, Marcia Gay Harden, and Sarah Silverman, in addition, of course, to Charlize Theron. And here's what actress Marcia Gay Harden said during the telethon: "What drives me is because it's right." Oh, okay, thank you. And what's happening right now is wrong. What drives me is my children are all queer. How'd that happen?
Yeah, no joke.
Just statistically speaking, that's almost impossible. My eldest child is non-binary.
Okay.
My son is gay. And my youngest is fluid. And you know, they are my kids. And they teach me every day.
What are the
that
odds?
Is beautiful.
If this is natural.
Right? 1,000,000,000 to 1? Come on.
So didn't she adopt? I'm Googling, and of course, Google is all screwed up now because they refuse to call anything normal. What I'm getting at is, didn't she adopt 2 boys?
Who?
That are now
Marcia Gay Harden?
No, Charlize.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Did,
that she now refers to as daughters?
Yes.
Okay, so that's accurate, right?
Oh, boy.
Because when you Google Charlize Theron, children, gender, it's like, where did she adopt her daughters? I'm like, no, I know it's but I love this.
Daughters, yeah.
This tweet goes along perfectly with what you're saying. I just happen to have this up. It's from a guy named Russell Host. Trans kids are now the new Gucci handbag for the upper middle class wine mommies who need attention.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? You know that's what's going on here. It's a status symbol. It is cool. It is hip. It's in now. So everybody's got trans kids.
And it's devastating for these children and their future.
My gosh. I should start claiming all 6 of my children are non-binary.
All right.
Yeah,
look at
all
you.
of them. They're all non-binary.
You don't want any of them to be fluid?
No, I want them all to be non-binary.
Right.
They stay the same, but they're different from their assigned sex at birth. So, my gosh. Theron declared during the telethon, "We love you, queens. We're in your corner, and we've got you. And I will F anybody up who is like trying to F with anything with you guys."
Wow. That's a convincing argument there.
Isn't it, though? It's powerful. It's powerful. It's really, in all seriousness, she said. And again, if this was a person saying I'm going to F up anybody who tries to mess with my children at a, get them to a drag event.
Right.
Can you imagine the hysteria over that? It's really, in all seriousness, there are so many things that are hurting and really killing our kids. And we all know that what I'm talking about right now, and it ain't no drag queen. Because if you've ever seen a drag queen lip sync for her life, it only makes you happier.
Sure
it
does.
only makes you love more. It makes you a better person. Shut up.
Boy, this article
Despicable, man.
makes me pine for the days when we're talking about sniffing a porcupine's ass, frankly.
Are you?
If that would cure society of its present ills, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening.
Okay,
So,
well,
yeah,
worth a
what are
shot,
you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Are you comparing porcupine anuses to drag queens?
No, he wasn't.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, he was not.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, I'll own it.
I misunderstood.
I'll own it. Sure. Yeah, that's what I was doing. No, I was actually saying they were better than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, right? It's a superior lifestyle. They're better people. We just heard from Charlize.
Yeah.
They're better people. And that's what the movement is kind of about now. Yeah, well, you need to be removed from society.
We'll F you up.
That's right.
That is the movement.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
There's so much mental illness in our society right now. It is just...
It's crazy.
You don't even know... I just want to breathe, It's like, good Lord, shut up.
I know.
Go away. Stop talking. It's just madness. And the travesty in all of this is what is happening to these children. And the rest of their life, what they will struggle with is incomprehensible. All because, like you said, they're the victims of this fad now.
Yep. This social contagion. All right, we've got Hilary coming up next. She'll be telling us about the UFC, I think, and marriage. So we'll get into that with Hilary Kennedy next. Welcome back. Pat Gray Unleashed. Joined this morning by Hilary Kennedy. Welcome, Hilary.
Thank you for having me back.
Hilary,
on the show.
of course, from the 4-Minute Buzz and also HilaryKennedy.com.
Thank you. You guys always do a perfect shameless plug for me. Appreciate it.
There's no shame in giving the address of where you'll be.
Oh,
yeah, no shame whatsoever.
What do you do over there anyway? like seriously, like is it what can people find when they go to HilaryKennedy.com?
A little bit of everything, a lot of little glimpses into my exciting life with a 4-year-old. And we're remodeling a house.
4 already?
Yeah, I'll be 5 in October. So yeah, that, and we've been remodeling a house from 1989, so that's always tons of fun and super inexpensive.
Yeah, that's right. Especially right now.
Yeah, my husband's really glad we did that.
Okay, so Nate Diaz, if you're into UFC at all, you know who he is. He's about to fight Jake Paul here in Dallas in August?
Yes.
Not MMA fight, though, right?
No, so he's going to box. So he's now a free agent. He left the UFC after 15 years.
Nate Diaz did?
Yes. And he said he'd always wanted the opportunity to box and just couldn't because of his contract with UFC. And he said he's excited to be able to negotiate, his own payday now. And so he said there was nobody else he would rather fight than Jake Paul because he said Paul is doing the biggest and the best things outside in fighting and for fighting. He said he wanted a worthy opponent to attack as soon as he got out of the UFC. So that's who he's going for.
Awesome.
That should be a good fight.
That'll be fun.
I get the two confused. Jake Paul has fought whom as opposed to Logan Hall?
He's beaten a lot of people, but he lost to Tommy Fury, so he has been.
Oh, he
beaten.
did.
I think that's isn't that the only time? He may have lost once or twice, but he's actually very good. Even Anderson Silva even said hey, Paul's the real deal. He really wants it. And so I think that's why so many people are lining up to fight him. Plus, he's so obnoxious that, who doesn't want a chance to punch him in the face? But
that's for sure.
But Diaz also said he said he wants to beat up on a couple of YouTube fighters. So I don't know if he's going for both Pauls. But he said then he wants to go back to the UFC and fight Conor one more time for a trilogy.
Will Conor McGregor do that? Is he going to come out of retirement for that?
I don't know. Diaz seems to think so. He said for sure we'll be fighting. It's inevitable.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if Connor will do it, but I think everybody would love to see it. It would be a huge payday for both of them. So.
Especially you, because it'd be a bloodbath again.
Exactly.
And you love the
Count
bloodbath.
me in. Yeah, if there's no blood, why are we watching it?
Why? Exactly.
No point. And speaking of Conor, really fast, I want to do a plug for him. He has a new series coming out on Netflix, and you know I love Conor McGregor. So that's coming out, I believe, the 17th of this month. So just in a couple of days.
What is it
it's
a
called,
documentary on his life?
It is. It's just a little, it's a 4-episode series called McGregor Forever. And it looks really good. It's kind of a glimpse into like what he does to train. He suffered a broken leg during one of his fights several years ago, kind of him working through that and trying to face like, will I ever fight again? And also just seeing him as a family man. He was a dad of 2. And so I think it's going to be an interesting glimpse into his life.
I'd watch it.
So yeah, going to be good.
All right.
All right. So that's sort of the UFC updates.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would love to talk about a little book. It came out in 1995, I think. There was a series of books called The Rules, and they were written by 2 women giving love advice to other women about how you could get the ring if you want a guy to propose. How do you get a man to marry you and have a happy relationship?
Business.
It caused a big stir even like 30 years ago because some of the advice in the book was don't talk to a man first, don't ask him to dance, always end the date first. Don't call him, rarely return his calls, don't meet him halfway, don't go Dutch on a date. And so a lot of people were like, these rules are so antiquated. And this was in 1995, people thought they were antiquated.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
But it sold 4 million copies in 27 different languages.
Yeah, they were on fire. They were on fire in the 90s. And they just updated them, right? Is
they
that what
did.
we're talking
So they
about?
have the
That's
rules
awesome.
handbook.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
awesome.
they have some new rules. So I'm just curious to know, since you're a room full of men, what you think about these, if you agree with their assessment of what makes for a good marriage.
Oh, no.
Is rule number 1, zip it?
Well, you're not far off. When your husband says something stupid, say nothing back. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Practice silence.
That's exactly
I mean, that's pretty close to zip it.
Yep, it is.
I like it.
Close to zip it.
Okay.
I like it. All right.
It says when you come home from work, and they're speaking to career women specifically here, when you come home from work where you have a fancy title like Senior VP of Corporate Marketing and you run a staff of 50 people, switch from masculine to feminine mode, set the table, cook dinner, and then ask him nicely to help finish.
Amen.
Man.
Except for the ask him nicely to help. You don't want to do that.
No.
You don't want to do that.
See rule number 1, zip it.
He's tired from his day at work.
Thank you. Thank
He doesn't have the energy to help you with dinner. Come on.
This is written by Jeffy,
I should have
isn't
known
it?
what to expect here. They said we don't think that believing men are masculine and women are feminine by nature, we don't just think that believing men are masculine and women are feminine by nature, and that romance works better when men make the first move as anti-feminist. We think it's realistic. So they said it's just biology that we need to.
They said are really going
intimacy
against the flow.
No,
Yes.
Aren't
no
they?
doubt about that.
I mean, this is completely politically incorrect.
Yep. They said let him take the lead role.
Okay.
If you act too bossy or overbearing, you'll emasculate your husband. Your marriage will suffer. So let him take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all in agreement here.
In other words, again, this is a sanitized version of Jeffy saying, know your place.
And know your role.
Know
Yeah,
your
that's
role.
right. Know your role.
Again,
And zip it.
I've met your wife. I
She follows.
I don't see her putting up with
Yeah,
that.
she does, though.
No.
She does, though.
No, she doesn't.
Because all of you are married to pretty strong, successful, career-driven women.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, because you've had very successful marriages, do you feel like the key has been her being the supportive player? Because that's what they're basically telling women to do, is you can be strong at your job, but when you're at home, make him the king and just be the supportive player.
Jeffy has that crown.
Exactly right.
Do you wear that crown
That's
at home?
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
King Jeffy.
I will say she likes to prepare herself too. She takes time before I get home to
prepare herself,
clean
and
the house, make sure that
put her
she's
makeup
clean.
back on, reapply
make sure
the
everything is
lipstick.
good. That's right.
Make sure she's wearing heels, not some slipper or something.
Right.
But you want her
No
in the
bathrobe.
kitchen cooking with heels
Well,
on, right?
I mean, she should be
stilettos.
She should
preferably.
be serving. She should be serving the dinner by the time I get home.
And don't forget the back rub, before or while you're seated, perhaps. That's fine.
While you're seated.
But,
well, let me ask you this. They said intimacy and cooking are to men what snuggling is to women.
Right?
This is awesome.
This is awesome. It fits into the 50s better than it does today.
Right.
This is going to be really insulting to women.
Fred Flintstone rolling into the cave there.
Right.
Well, they said even an example they gave is Eileen Ford. She co-founded the famous Ford Models Agency. It's been around forever. And she said, when I walk through the front door after work, my husband Jerry is the boss. So she went from being the boss all day long at her job, but she said, when I walk in the door at home, Jerry's the boss. Yeah. And she said that was the key to her happy marriage. So I don't know. I ran all of this by my husband last night and said, do you agree with these statements?
Oh, no, don't do that.
And he listened and he listened and he goes, yeah, I agree with all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, are you kidding me? And he was like,
wait, do you disagree with some of those? Let's put you on the spot.
I don't like to cook. So no, I think it's wrong to expect a woman, if that's not her natural inclination, to have like a hot meal on the table every night. I do occasionally try to cook some
practice makes perfect. So
as you're remodeling your house, are you eliminating the kitchen?
I thought about it. When we were house shopping, I looked for houses with the smallest kitchen, and everyone said that's not good for resale.
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
No,
so,
kitchen's really important.
Yeah,
kitchens, bathrooms.
But I think they really play up the importance of feeding your man. Not saying anything.
So hold on.
When he says something stupid.
So this book was written in 1995. You said
the original one, but this
updated
for
it
now.
Yeah,
and women are enjoying it still.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their advice, I feel like, is actually really sound advice.
Yeah.
Like in the original book, they said things like, don't sleep with a man until you're, essentially either married or in a committed relationship.
I mean, that's just silly. Not every rule they wrote. Not every rule they wrote is correct.
And they were saying because men like a challenge, and that was sort of what the whole premise of that first book was, is don't
They're
make
not
things
moral
so...
people. They just like a challenge.
Well,
correct.
Right?
Correct.
Essentially, they were saying men like a challenge and women make it far too easy on them, and I do agree with that. But they say basically after you get married, now it's not about keeping the mystery and being a challenge as much as it is making life simple and easy for him.
Right.
For him.
Like, don't
say that for the people in the back there.
I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with all of it, but I do think that's true. You don't want strife in your marriage all the time.
No,
and
you don't.
don't want
No, you
don't want
I
someone
will,
overbearing.
I will say in today's world too. You talk about men like a challenge, but in today's world, we're told no means no. If I already asked you out, then I said no, don't be coming back to me again.
Right.
Or then it's harassment.
So I mean.
It's confusing.
Yeah, it is.
I totally agree. And I do think they're right because, I mean, their whole point, too, with this new book is if you treat him like a king, you want him to be happy, you want him to be comfortable, you want him to feel taken care of, he will reciprocate, is what they're saying, is if you're doing those things, he's more likely to reciprocate and do a lot of the things that you need and you want.
I believe me coming home every night will be reciprocation enough.
She's fortunate enough that you've come home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
But not terrible advice, but also happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. That's coming up this weekend. So so if you've got a mom around or some mother figure, get her a card.
Or someone named Bill in your life.
Yeah, right. I can't believe that your son is 4 already.
I know.
It's gone by so fast.
It really does.
It's a fun age.
What
4
has
is great.
been the biggest surprise as a relatively new mother that you didn't expect from motherhood? Being a mom of a young boy here.
Having to get him ready and cleaned up and spruced up by the time your husband gets home every night. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Probably having to feed him and keep him alive. I was surprised by that. I'd forgotten I was going to have to do that when I had a baby.
That's expected, yeah.
Gosh, I think I was surprised at how much I was willing to give up and put aside because I just want to be with them and spend time with them. That really surprised me, how much everything else sort of doesn't matter as much anymore.
That changes.
Yeah.
That changes in a couple of years.
Well,
all right.
Way to ruin it.
Let her leave in
and
peace.
happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
Thanks, Hilary. Appreciate it. See you on the 4-minute buzz coming up in just a few minutes. First of all, let me tell you about a really nice flower bouquet from Bouqs. That's Bouqs, short for bouquets. And there's 20% off right now, so you can thank your mom properly this Mother's Day. I mean, she's done so much. Your wife has done so much. Hopefully, she's got the hot meal on the table for you every day when you come home.
You know what I mean? You can give her some flowers.
She's swept up. She's cleaned everything, and everything's completely in order. She deserves.
What a well-placed spot this is.
Right? Books is really great because their flowers are sourced directly from the best farms, and they're cut fresh, so they last way longer. They even have flowers grown on the side of a volcano. Mother's Day is Sunday. Don't let it get by without you taking care of your wife or your mother. Order Books right now. While you're there, check out their flower subscription so mom feels your love all year long. Go to Books.com. Use a promo code PAT for 20% off. 20%. BOUQS. Books.com. Promo code PAT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, this is kind of fun. We were just talking about Jake Paul. His brother Logan supposedly has some compelling UFO footage.
Oh, yeah.
He's essentially stole it from some guy.
What?
But he has it.
Oh, I didn't know that he stole it. I thought he had purchased it or something. But
no, he tried to purchase it. He said, I offered the guy $100,000 for it. He wouldn't give it. He wouldn't do it.
So what are you going to do? You're going to steal it.
So he clandestinely asked him, can I watch it? And the guy says yes. And so he filmed it with a secret camera on his shirt.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how he has
awesome.
it now. So interesting. I want to see it. It's supposedly from people who have seen it, and very few people have.
Do we have to subscribe to LoganPaul.com?
That I don't know.
Subscribe to the podcast to see it?
I don't know. He did say he wants to release it, but he's waiting to talk to a UFO person to see if it's legitimate or not. But apparently there were two guys, and they were out in the boonies some night, and they saw this disc in the air, and they got out and they filmed it, and that's right. What this apparently is.
I mean, I'm all for crime. I want to go on record as saying I'm all for crime, but that's kind of cheesy.
Well, he did say he's a sneaky little F.
No
and that's
kidding.
Probably true.
Yeah, that's...
But he says, well, wait a minute, though. This guy doesn't own this footage. It belongs to the world.
Oh, here we go.
Isn't that a great way to justify it?
It is after he turned you down.
It's selfish to keep it to himself. I think so, too. I want to see it. I just want to see the footage. That's all I want.
Oh, so
don't tell me about how you got it. I don't want to know.
You want to receive stolen property.
I don't want to know how you got it. I just want to see the footage. So he wants to talk to Bob Lazar. Do you know who that is? The UFO guy.
Expert, yeah.
Yeah, controversial. He claims, Bob Lazar claims, to have worked on reverse engineering UFO technology.
Oh, I love this.
That's really cool. So he did that in the 80s, he said. But why then haven't you released it? Logan Paul, I'm waiting for the right moment. I'm not afraid to release it. I'm just waiting for the right moment. I would show the footage to Bob Lazar to ask him if he's seen anything like it. And in that case, maybe if he can verify the legitimacy of the tape, then maybe I would release it. He says, you don't see aliens. The footage is compelling, not convincing. It's from 1995. The tape has been worn down. It's been played probably over 100 times, so the quality's not great, and everything about it screams BS. Oh, well, then what are you talking about being compelling?
It screams BS, and it's compelling.
It's kind of contradictory, isn't it? But he says he doesn't have enough information to render it legitimate or not, so that's why he's trying to get this UFO expert. But he did offer the guy $100,000, and the guy turned it down. Which, okay, if you have fake footage and somebody offers you $100,000 for it, you take it, right?
Oh yeah,
taking it.
And if you have that footage and you believe it to be accurate, why wouldn't you show it to the world? You know, if it's fake, why wouldn't you show it to the world? You wouldn't get fake footage and then just hide it at your house.
I mean,
right?
it sounds to me.
Yeah.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds to me you just want to see it.
Yeah.
I just want to see. That is
Pat
true.
wants to decide. He'll
Yes,
decide.
I want to see it.
Well, one of these days on our last Friday of the month shows when we talk about some conspiracy, we got to have an alien expert, right?
Yeah.
We got to go down this road. Coming up,
Maybe Bob Lazar's the guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Sure.
know.
Yeah. Maybe. Let's see. 2 weeks from today, though, we're gonna do talk about Oklahoma City. See if there's anything to that.
All right.
But last month, if y'all missed it, we talked about the moon landing, and we had a guest that Pat is pen pals with now. But Bart Sabrell, he sent a book to each of us.
Nice.
Moon Man.
Yeah, so
He
there
wants
you
us
go.
to read the book. Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. So there's your copy, and
awesome.
So you can enjoy that. I'm
I
sure
like
you'll...
this. Moon Man, the true story of a filmmaker on the CIA hit list.
That is awesome. I notice, Bart didn't sign it.
Didn't sign it for you? Oh, no.
No, really?
Jeffy's heartbroken.
Wow, that's too bad.
I mean, I appreciate it, Bart, very much. Thank you.
Well, if he would have signed it, it would have decreased the value of the book by
That's not true.
75%.
I don't think so.
No, if he apparently, if on the resale market, so I've heard that if it's actually dedicated to someone or signed or whatever, it actually increases their value.
Well, for most people that's true, but for Bart,
for Bart, no, but I'm saying
it
it
decreases the.
But if it's made out to you, a celebrity,
oh well,
you see,
right.
then that increases
Sure.
it. You see,
yeah.
I'm serious. Anyhow,
Anyway,
there you go.
This is great. Moon Man, thank you, Bart. That's great. The men behind the infamous "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon"
movie, the documentary.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
How are you guys doing? You guys been emailing back and forth, pictures of the grandkids, stuff like that? You and Bart?
Dinners, lunches, making all kinds of appointments
That's
to
cool.
get together. Sure. Yeah.
Brought y'all together.
Do you know where he lives? Where does he live?
Philippines.
For real?
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's interesting.
Pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Jeffy doesn't like this.
No, that's interesting.
Jeffy's like,
what's wrong with the Philippines?
Nothing. It's beautiful this time of year.
I don't know if he's there full time or what, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, we got to get to the Tucker Carlson thing too.
Weird.
Earlier this week, Tucker Carlson relayed this story to Tulsi Gabbard on her podcast. This is proof again of my theory that every living person has a podcast. Every living person, including Tulsi Gabbard. And apparently, here's what Tucker said on her show.
I wanted to interview Putin. This was before the Ukraine war. I always wanted to go to Russia. I want to meet Putin. He's a player in world affairs. Why wouldn't I want to interview him? That's my job. So I didn't tell anybody, including at my company or my producers or whatever. I reached out to a friend of mine who I thought might know somebody. We had a bunch of exchanges about this, got in touch with the Russians. And then I got a call summer before last from a very, very close, one of my closest friends in Washington saying, hey, why don't you come up on Sunday in Washington? I need to talk to you about something. What is it? Well, just come up. So I actually flew to Washington from Maine to go see this friend who's like, I know someone at NSA, not a low-level person at all, who secretly likes your show, who told me that you are trying to get a Putin interview and go to Russia. I was like, nobody knew this. Not one person knew this. So the hair on my arms went up. So I knew this was real. And they have your emails and your texts, and they're going to leak them to the media to discredit you as a Putin lover. I was rattled by, I'm not often rattled just because I've been doing this for so long, but that bothered me.
Well, yeah. That shows that they're spying on your email.
Bro.
What? On a private citizen in the United States of America, the NSA is spying on him? Wow.
Well, we don't know who he reached out to, so they may be tracking that person.
That's possible. It's possible. It's also possible his friend, said something to somebody, and it got around that way. But I think what he's alluding to is...
I know what he's alluding to, yes. And either way, though, it makes one ponder being spied on.
It does, doesn't it?
From our own government.
Yeah. Which isn't supposed to happen without probable cause. Right. And I don't think it's supposed to happen at all from the NSA. So, I mean, the FBI can spy on you if they have probable cause. CIA is supposed to be, for international use
that's
only.
Right, that's not in the country.
Right. Now, the NSA, can they do all of it? I don't know.
There were plenty of claims that said that they could, right? I mean, that was the claim.
I'll never forget, though, Lindsey Graham one morning watching, going, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, then what does it matter if they have my phone number and all that stuff? Which, by the way, ironically enough, years later, we all had your phone number thanks to Donald Trump.
Yeah, was that okay? Because you weren't doing anything wrong, right? Lindsay, was that okay?
Were you, Lindsay?
And again, for the 1 millionth time, you're not the one who decides whether or not you're doing something wrong. Yeah. That's done by the people who are watching you.
Right.
Every breath you take and every move you make, the government's watching.
Write that down.
Yeah,
write that down.
Is that catchy or what?
Okay, so...
no, that'd never work.
I've got a little beat going for you over here. You could sing, too.
Did we ever play
we did. Yeah, we did. Jose Feliciano.
Jose Feliciano.
We did.
With Sting. I don't know if we did.
I think we did. I think
Sting
we did.
is in the audience listening to Jose Feliciano sing Every Breath You Take, and he is in agony.
It is awful.
Bad. It's almost sacrilege.
It
really is the way he's butchering that song.
On top of which, he's a blind guy talking about I'll be
watching people, which you can't do.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.